Hello, guys. How are you doing? My name is Winfred, and welcome to this channel where it's all about digesting the heart. As we prepare, guys, tell a friend, and together let us go on and just Friday night away. And allow me to take these few minutes, like every day. I need to share the link with the rest so that all of us get on at once. So allow me these few minutes to go on live and share with those that have been waiting eagerly for this Friday to happen. This will take me a few minutes, so I hope you can be patient. With those few minutes, thank you for being patient, guys. Honored that you've tuned in and you're here for the Friday night chat. Oh my goodness, apologies for the many times that you've tuned in and we've not been on. It's because of power. Oh my goodness. Those of you who have lived in Uganda before, you know the situation. It gets really, really tight when power goes off. And there's not much you can do when it has gone. And I'm glad that we are on today. The other time we were just starting and then power went off. So I hope this time around there won't be any inconveniences and we'll be able to start and chat our Friday night away. Well. I just want to know who is tuning in, where you're watching from, and if you've told a friend. Let me know, guys, who have tuned in. I'm so glad that you have taken this time and tuned in. My name is Winfred. So I want to know who is watching and where you're watching from. Remember, it's Friday. We are rushing off to nowhere. Tomorrow is no work. And those of you who are working, I'm so sorry that you're working tomorrow. But I know it comes in, with great benefits because your pay, I'm assuming, is doubled since you're having to work at unsocial times, if I may put it. Oh my goodness, Rogers, good evening. I didn't expect you to be on because power has been cutting us off every single time. I hope my sound is okay and you can hear me very well. Otherwise, Rogers, you're welcome and good evening. Shaboya, you're welcome, dear, and good evening. Thank you so much, guys, for always keeping it right here. I'm glad that you've tuned in. And if you could tell a friend, and together we chat Friday night. Otherwise, I would say welcome to the family episode of Digesting the Heart. It's a family episode of Digesting the Heart. For those of you who don't know the title, we are talking about why she resents you. Many times we've chosen topics that have not been, have not been so good, but I'm glad that this one is one of those that has ranked highly in votes. And a single dad says sound is clear. Oh my goodness, that is so good. Like I was saying, today we are just talking about digesting the heart. Yeah. So you're welcome to another episode of Digesting the Heart. I'm your host, Winfred, and today we are diving deep into a topic that many couples never address until it's too late. You know, there are those topics that you don't talk about. There are those things that you don't talk about until it is too late. Why she resents you is the topic. I mean, if you've been wondering, why is she resenting me? You know, you used to do small things and they used to make her day, and you would call and she would be all excited. You would come over and she would jump, and she's not doing that anymore. She's looking for any excuse to leave. Well, today we are going to break that down, why she resents you. Yeah. Now, before you jump into conclusion, this is not a topic that we are not playing a blame game where we say that man is bad and woman is good. No, we are not doing a blame game. Resentment is like a slow leak in your tire. In the tire of a relationship, resentment is just like that slow leak. You know, before you know it, it's the pressure in your tire is out. So we are going to be breaking down that, why she resents you. Yeah. And those of you who have just joined us, my name is Winfred, and welcome to this channel where we digest the heart. Today we are just going deep directly into why she resents you. Now, before you jump to conclusions, this is something I'm repeating because you may say now we are blaming the men and saying the man is bad, the woman is good. No, it's not a blame game. Like I said, it's like that leak in the pressure of your in your tire that slowly, if you do not address it, it would, cause other issues altogether. So do not. This doesn't happen overnight. But if you don't notice it and patch it up, oh my goodness, one day you'll be stranded by the side of the road wondering what happened. What happened? We used to have a good relationship with this girl, and I don't know what happened. She's just, pulled away. Now, tonight we will unpack how resentment builds without you even realizing it. The subtle signs she's resenting him. Common mistakes that men make that fuel resentment. We will be addressing those. And most importantly, how to fix it before it kills the love. So if you're looking and have been wondering, why does she resent me? Why is this happening? Why is our relationship taking on another level? Well, it's because of these few things that we are going to talk about. And I hope that you will be glad that you're here. So grab a bite, grab some coffee, grab some tea, and if you're like me and you're just going to be talking, grab a book and put some of these things down because it will help you see signs before even your relationship is damaged. This is going to be an honest, possibly uncomfortable, but necessary conversation. So it may be uncomfortable, it may be, difficult, but it's necessary for everyone who is in a relationship. Defining resentment. Resentment is stored emotional hurt and unexpressed anger. If you're wondering what is resentment in a relationship, this person is hurting and has anger, is bitter about something, but they are not talking about it. That is resentment. Why women sometimes don't express it directly is what we are going to be dealing with. The fear of conflict, the emotional fatigue, the past experiences of being ignored. Like I'll tell you of a story. There is this woman that was in a relationship with a guy, and she told the guy how things, you come clean and you tell them your past relationships, but just talking about that, the man started, resenting her, saying, you have been wild, you've seen the world too much, he held back from there on. So the woman from that time on changed and kept most of the things to herself. Why? Because if she knew something and it seemed like she knows more than the guy, then the guy would judge. So now we are going to be going down slow and easy on those topics. Now we are going to talk about the silent bank account of emotional debt. Every unresolved hurt is a deposit. If you hurt me the other day and we didn't talk about it, if you said something, you did something and I didn't say anything in return, that is a deposit on the hurting account. And I'm hurting and I'm hurting. Before you know it, I'm actually distant from you and you're wondering what really happened. Now, imagine she asks you to help her with kids after work. Yeah, those of you are already in a relationship and have kids. She asks you to help her with kids after work and you say, I'm tired, we can talk later. That might be fine once. But if it happens repeatedly, you're sending the silent message. My comfort is more important than your exhaustion. Yeah, so you're sending a silent message to her. So how do we get past all that and have healthy relationships? Movement deposits a little coins into the bank of resentment. Like she started off saying, can you help me with the kids? And then she says, can you help me fix breakfast? And you don't. All those are deposits. They may seem like coins, but trust me, they grow and become really heavy for a relationship that it can't stand. Yeah. Over months or years, that bank account grows. Trust me, it does grow. And when it grows, I hope you're ready for those deposits that you've been putting, because if you're not, then that relationship is gone. But you can save it if you realize some of these things earlier on. Now, this is something I want you to think about, to think back. Has there ever been a time, for those of you who are in relationships, where she got quiet instead of telling you she's upset? Note that time, guys. Drop a yes in the chat if you've seen that before. As in, she grew quiet, all of a sudden she's not bubbly, she's not talking to you, and she's not excited about what you're talking about. You know, note those moments, because trust me, they grow. And before you know it, she's packing and leaving. Like I said, it's like that tire that has a leak, that if you don't patch up, you know, you just wake up one day and it's a flat tire and you can't take it anywhere because it's flat, unless you change it. But if you patch it in time, you continue on your way. But if you don't, my goodness, those things can really turn sour so quick. Now, the root cause of her resentment is what we are going to talk about today: emotional neglect. I will say that and say it slowly: emotional neglect. You're physically present, but emotionally absent. You know, you are there with her, but emotionally you're not. You know, when she needs you to be there, to be supportive, you know, to just talk to her, hold her hand, you know, dream together, you're not. You're physically present, but emotionally you're not. That can cause resentment. So guys, if you've seen those telltale signs, do something, patch up that tire before it is too late and you have yourself a flat tire that can't go anywhere. And unequal load. Not guys, I said unequal load. She feels she's carrying more responsibility. When I say unequal load, like many times guys tend to think that because you go off to work and bring in this money, you don't need to help around the house. Guys, I'm telling you, housework is a full-time job. You work from morning to the time you go to bed, especially if there are kids in play. But if there is no kids, then it may be okay. But if there are kids in play, it's a full-time job. You wake up to prepare breakfast, then lunch. In between there are snacks. There's someone who has fallen down. There's homework. There's dropping to school kids. There's bring them back home. There's helping them shower. There's all these things. And before you know it, it's dinner time. You need to cook and clean. And again, you need to be a happy girlfriend or partner or wife. That is full time, guys. Now, unequal load is what I'm talking about that could cause resentment. If she feels like she's carrying more responsibility, like house bills, the house, the kids, the emotional labor, you know, emotions, all these, having to be there for everyone and still stay strong, having to be there for the kids and for you supportively. Oh my goodness, that can also trigger resentment. So try and balance it out. If you've been one who has not been caring, all you're concerned about is making sure you've bought the food, that is not it. You've paid the rent. That's not enough. Try and pinch in. It will help bridge and bind you more together than one person having to deal with everything. And broken promises. I'll talk about broken promises in detail. Repeated patterns of saying you will change, but you don't follow through. Those ones also hurt. Guys, this person may start resenting you. Broken promises. You promised to do something. You promise to change. You promise to be there, but you're not. You promise to change, but you do not change. I'm going to be doing something different. All along, we've been reading the messages concurrently, but this time round, I'll open a slot where we'll read some of your messages. Otherwise, for easy communication, we'll open up the lines for the comments. We're in the middle of the chat, so bear with me, guys. I'm seeing your texts and comments, and I'm going to have time to read them. But for now, we're just going through what it is that this topic is about today. Now, like I said, broken promises. You promise to do something for her, but you don't do it. You promise to take her somewhere. You promise to change. You promise to help. You promise to be there, but you don't. All these things can cause resentment, slowly eating up at our relationships. It starts eating up the relationship. And before you know it, you don't have anyone there for you anymore, because all she would consider you is someone who has always promised to be there, someone who is, he's all talk and no action. So in order for our relationships to survive, guys, we need to be people who keep our promises. You say you promise to do something, do it. Don't, give excuses after excuses and think, because once she pulls away, you will see she's not bothered anymore by your promises. She's not asking, she's not engaged, she's not impressed, simply because you've hurt her so much to leave room for you to hurt her anymore. Now, the lack of appreciation is also another thing that causes resentment. She feels invisible. I mean, she does all these things for you, and probably your house or your family or, your marriage, and you don't seem to notice it. She feels invisible, like she's there, but she's not. There's a tendency of men, giving so much attention to the women out there, and the woman in your life, whether she's your girlfriend, whether she's your partner, whether she's your wife, you neglect her. It's really, really, really not good, because it's one of those things that causes resentment and also breakups eventually. If you are with someone, that same attention you give to other people, I know we are not the same and we change over time. Like you found me when I was younger, now I've grown, or you found me smaller, now I've gained some weight, or you found me when I'm big, now I've lost some weight, and now you're paying more attention to other people. That hurts. We shouldn't love on the outward only, but we should also love that person that we are with on the inside, because it's that same person that you fell in love with at some point. I know there are people who I've met who keep on saying, well, I don't know even where I was looking when I got interested in you, or when I fell for you. It's my Wi-Fi. You must have done something. Guys, sorry about that glitch. I hope we are still on and it's still running. There was a glitch for a bit. Like if someone has been there for you, pay them the same attention you were giving to them before. I know, like, when you have clothes, say like a piece of cloth, you have it, and after some time, it's not so bright anymore. It's not so, catchy anymore. But if you take good care of it, it would still be the same cloth that you saw. Well, not as bright, not as colorful or whatever, but it's still the same cloth that you fell in love with. So if you take care of her and really pay close, I mean, if she's gained some weight, you help her when she goes off to the gym, or encourage her to go to the gym, or even to exercise from home, and get her back to that shape that you wanted before, than, focusing all your attention on someone else and neglecting her. Neglect is one of those things that could cause her to, resent you, and broken promises, unequal load, like I said. Now, the other one is lack of appreciation. She does all these things, but you don't seem to notice it. She does maybe her hair for you, but you don't even notice she's done her hair. She does her nails for you, but you don't even seem to notice it. But you see all these other people who are doing all these things about themselves, but her. That is also not good, and it can cause resentment. Taking her sacrifices for granted, especially when she puts her dreams on hold. Many times, these ladies, guys, that we are going out with sacrifice. If she was going to school, she can say, well, I will not go until we've had our children. If she has sacrificed that for the sake of your relationship or having kids, really be there for her, and notice, appreciate her sacrifice. Don't take it for granted that it was bound to happen. She was going to be a mother anyway. She was supposed to be at work, but she said, for the sake of our family, I'll not go to work. I will stay and raise our kids. That alone, guys, if you have such a woman, don't take her for granted. Appreciate her every day for every sacrifice, even for just being there, because not everyone has been, sacrificial to the point of saying, I'll be a homemaker, I'll mother your kids. Some ladies don't really want to know. They say, I cannot ruin this, for a baby. No, I cannot, allow myself to not be corporate. I need to be corporate so that I can also be able to fit in. Well, there are all these excuses we give. So if a woman has sacrificed anything for the sake of the relationship, guys, I call on you to remember to appreciate and not take for granted the sacrifices. Feeling unheard or dismissed. Yeah, that feeling of being unheard or dismissed can really, really ruin a good relationship. When I tell you something, I'm trying to suggest something, but you don't, not take note of what I'm saying. Anything I suggest, you just dismiss. That can also cause resentment. As ladies, guys, there's a secret too that you don't know. In every woman, and not particular women, every woman, there is that building sense that God gave to every woman. But if you see a woman is not so much involved into building you, or working together with you, it's because she is not investing in everything. But if she has really found that one and is happy and contented, my dear, she would give everything to that relationship, and she will be there. But the feeling of being unheard and dismissed will also cause resentment. Let's now just go to a mini dive example. Yeah, a couple where the man thinks providing financially is enough, but she feels lonely and unsupported. Over time, her affection turns to obligation. Yeah, there's this couple that I'm giving an example of. The man feels his obligation is to just provide, and as long as he's provided money, what else do you need? I mean, I've given you all that you need. Isn't there food in the house? There are some men who do that, but especially us Africans, guys. I hope men who are tuning in are listening and listening good. Just because you bought food, just because you paid rent, just because you pay school fees in case there's children in play, does not mean that is all you have to do. The rest is supposed to fall on the woman. Guys, you want to get a woman who will be there for you. Emotionally, we connect, and emotionally, we invest. If a woman loves a man, really, really, truly loves a man, guess what she would do? She will get from everywhere else and bring to your house. Why? Because she really loves and cares for you. But if she doesn't, you will become like this ink pot or pot that is always drained, always draining, taking from you to other places, taking from you to other places. But that won't be the case if she truly loves you. So invest in more than just providing for the home, because here she feels lonely. And yet for you, you're thinking because you're making money and giving her food, paying the rent and paying all these things, she's okay. Well, she's feeling lonely. Haven't you seen rich people's wives stepping out and actually going with men who don't seem to measure up? Well, that has happened, and not once, but many times. And I know all of you that are listening in, you've had those stories where a woman who is really, really rich is going out with someone who has almost nothing, and she's probably the one funding him, paying his rent, and it puzzles whoever is listening. Why? Because she feels lonely. The man has played his part and provided, and he thinks that is all he needs to do. But yet there is more. There is more that you can do as a man. You can provide, fine. That is good. But don't let her feel lonely. Don't let her feel unsupported. Because over time, her affection may turn into obligation. When I say her affection may turn into obligation, where she feels like now he has come back, I need to, be fresh and just get in bed, get done with that, give him food, that's all. It becomes an obligation, and it's not good. This is a person that you want to grow old together or with. So if you want to grow old with this person, surely you invest more than just money, because put money on the side. Imagine the years where you won't be providing that much money. What will be happening to the relationship if it didn't have that foundation? I know of a guy who never, ever held his partner's hand in public. And then one time they went to a wedding. I think it wasn't a wedding, it was a party. And the man was getting closer and holding the hand, and the woman, because that had never happened, the woman was turning and saying, why are you doing this? Did you do something? Especially these men many of you, I know you people who are listening in don't do this. If you don't buy flowers and all of a sudden you buy flowers, the woman would get curious. Why is he buying? Did he do something? So let us make this a habit to care extra. We are more emotional than we are physical. And you guys are physical. So guess what we do? We toy with your physical because you're not meeting our emotional bit. If all you're doing is giving me food, buying food, which I'm going to prepare and you also eat, or paying the bills to which you're also going to be sleeping in the same house, guess what? Then I'll also play my part as an obligation, not as something that comes from the heart, where I would really stick there out for you on every ground. So I hope that helps someone today. According to my relationship research, there's a doctor that I was following. There's a doctor that I was following who says that resentment is one of the strongest predators of divorce. So if you've been married, resentment will be one of those things that will lead you so quick to divorce, because it starts eating you slowly. I use the hole in your tire. You can have a small hole on your tire. Those of you who are driving or who have bicycles or motorcycles, you can have a small hole on your tire. But if you don't patch it up quickly, just that small hole, as small as it is, can really cause big issues for you. There's a friend of mine who was driving a TX and had a small hole on his tire and continued driving. As she was getting closer to the traffic lights, the thing just went on doing, and I don't know how she didn't know, because a TX can lose balance if those of you are driving. And she drove all the way from her home to almost my house without noticing. And by the time she got off the main road, people were screaming at her, looking at her. She was thinking, people have never seen a TX before. And she just continued driving. By the time she took the tire to be fixed, It was beyond repair. It was ruined. She had to buy new ones. So again, resentment in a relationship, like this doctor says, Dr. Kostman, he said that resentment is one of the strongest predators of divorce because it turns into contempt, and contempt kills love. I mean, we can start off really well, but if over time you don't pay attention to the things that I've mentioned, my dear, this is bound. If a relationship was just without strings attached, we are not married, we are just dating, and I start resenting you, trust me, when you propose, I would not say yes. And if we are married, it would be the quickest way to having a divorce, because it gets to a point where the threads that would connect you to this person have been cut, and there's nothing that is connecting you to this person anymore. And so that person just leaves. So guys, if you're looking to have a relationship, if you're looking to date, you're looking to marry, because this doesn't only happen when you're dating, it does also happen when you're married. And to married people, it's really worse. Why? Because there's a way that us ladies, I'll not hit only one side. There's a way us ladies will relax once we are married. The person who used to care so much and try and put on, some nice clothes, make yourself up. We stop because now I'm married. I don't need to attract him anymore. That is a wrong mentality for us ladies. But again, there is that mentality with the men. I now married her. She can't go away from me. So why do I have to put in the extra effort? Before, you used to work so hard to find out if she's okay. I mean, if she went silent on you for a bit, you'd be like, are you okay? Is everything okay? But now that you have married her, you forget that she's still that same person with feelings that would want you to care, to show her some signs that you're still attracted, that she still matters, that her opinion counts. You don't leave her to carry all the load, because then you make her feel like she's a maid of some help or some sort, or she's this machine that you got that doesn't tire. But you go to work and come back. But for her, because her workplace is home, she works from morning to when she goes off to bed. And if that goes unnoticed, it is really a shame, because it can cause serious resentment. Now, ladies watching, one word in the chat that describes how resentment feels from your perspective. I need to hear from the ladies. How does it feel from your perspective to be resentful? What would cause that? If you can, drop in the comments and I'll open the lines and read your comments. Signs she's secretly resenting you is what we are going to talk about now. Her short temper, a person who was bubbly, happy, you had never had her raise her voice, is now raising her voice, small thing over small things. Some example, a coffee cup fell on the counter, a coffee cup left on the counter, or a plate left unwashed, sock that is forgotten on the floor. That becomes a big deal. She's already had enough, and guess what, that was the last nail in the coffin, and she's just lashing out to you because it's been building up. If a person truly cares, if a person truly loves you, guess what, guys, even when you do the messiest of things, they'll be okay with your mess. You forget to put your shoes where they're supposed to be. You come home and leave the socks anywhere. They would get them and put them where they belong. But if resentment is there, even that sock can become something that you don't expect. Why? Because, the strings that were holding things together are now cut up and there's nothing to fall back on. So look out for those signs, guys, and make sure things still flow so that we can keep and maintain our relationships. Otherwise, we lose them simply because we don't notice those small things that are thrown at us every single day. Another sign that she's resenting you, first of all, is the short temper. The other thing is decrease in affection. I'm not sure about the physical intimacy, but the warm gestures start disappearing. Like before you come home, and she's all excited, wants you to stay, and he's like, "Are you hungry? Can I get you, some food?" Small things. You're going to work, and she cares how you look. Fixes probably your tie for those of you who are wearing ties, ensures your shoes are clean, you're presentable. She stops. That is a sign she's starting to resent you. Guys, do something and wake up. And the decrease in affection is also one of those. And sarcasm or passive aggressive comments, those are very key as well. Jokes that have sharp edges. She starts joking, but the jokes are not really funny anymore, but they are sharp. They really hurt. Those are telltale signs she's really resenting you. Avoidance is also another thing. She spends more time away from you, even in the same house. She can be in the same house with you, but avoiding being in the same space at the same time with you. That is also a sign that she's resenting you, because you hurt her and for some reason you don't notice it, or you're hurting her and you're not doing anything about it. Yeah. Withholding communication, only speaks when necessary. That is another sign of resentment. She withholds and only speak when spoken to. It's not like you come from work and you're like, "How are you?" "I'm fine." "So what are we having for supper?" You will see. Short answers. Yeah. Withholding communication and speaking only when spoken to or when necessary. That is a sign that she's resenting you. So if you want your relationship to go further, work on it before the puncture really gets big, and it can be patched. And you just have to, move on, and everyone takes their own, their own path. Secret comparisons. Yeah, she brings up other men's behaviors more often. Before, you were the true picture. I mean, the ideal person, her go-to person. But then now she's secretly comparing you with others, wishing, if I was with this one, it would be different. The secret comparisons bring you so fast to break up, because she starts comparing you to the other people that she's been with, or other people who are in your life. Say like you have friends who come over every Friday, or people you meet at church, or see siblings and how they treat their wives or their partners or their girlfriends, and you're not. Oh my goodness, that also can be a sign of resentment. Now, I'll tell you a story. First, I would say, have you ever had her say, "Well, John, next door helps her wife or her partner," or "John buys this for so on," and so I'm just using John. I don't know why I use John, or maybe let me say Timothy. Yeah, she says Timothy does this and this for her girlfriend or partner or wife. Those things, they are secret comparisons that she's doing. And that's not about John most of the time. It's her trying to speak out, but has failed to find a way that would reach up to you without you taking offense or being hurt. Yeah? That's her signal. She's missing without directly saying it. She's passing it out to you that, you see, I went to visit. So an example, she says, I went to visit Jackie, and her boyfriend had got her, flowers for her anniversary. Remember, yours is coming up, and you all came up and you did nothing about it. That alone, guys, is her trying to tell you, there are people who are better. I'm settling here, and do something before she really pulls around. Is like, when resentment fully builds, the danger of it is this: there is no point of return, because it's someone, before someone really gives up, they try to patch up. They try to make it work. They try to see and look the other way. But if it's fully built up, guess what happens? She will just pack and leave, and you will not talk her out of it. Why? Because she's hard enough, and you've promised to change and you have not. You've promised to do something, you have not. It's all these other things that we've talked about that you have not worked on. So if you really want your relationship to stick or stay, guys, listen in and do something about it before it gets out of hand. Gentlemen, be honest. Have you ever been caught off guard because she blew up over something small, and that was probably about 10 other things you didn't address? Let us just be honest. She blows up over, maybe you forgot to buy soap so that she can do laundry on time, and she just blows things out of proportion. If that has ever happened to you, drop in the comments. Let's share. It's Friday and it's a live chat. And if it has happened to you before, you can, feel bold and share. If it has happened, those are signs, guys, that she's starting to resent you. And before that resentment turns into something really big, do something about it. You do something really, really small, and for some reason, it's like you did 10 things. Why? It has been a build-up over time. You don't do this, you don't see her, you don't do that, and she's piling. Now, when she has a burst out, it is because of that build-up that has been going on over time. How resentment builds up over time. 1 year to 2 years, she mentions what bothers her. Yeah? If you're in a marriage or if you're in a relationship, 1 year to 2 years, she mentions what bothers her. But if you're in a relationship, just dating, you come late, you promise to call, you don't, you promise to get her something, you don't, and she does things for you, but you don't notice them. That time when you're dating could be in form of months. If it is dating, guys, these are different scenarios. If you're dating, the span could be between months. But if it's marriage, if it's partnership where there are kids involved, the first and second year, she's talking about what bothers her. Now, in the third and fifth year, she repeats herself, but you think it's not a big deal. She keeps on repeating, you know what, when you do this, it hurts me. When you do this, it hurts me. Why don't you do this? And you just think it's not a big deal. That is in the 5th and 4th year, if a relationship can go that far. Because if it's in dating scenario, it is now you are about to get, you've probably thought of settling with her, and she's trying because she's interested in you and wants the whole idea of let's get married or let us be together. She will repeat herself, but you think it's not a big deal. Now, in the 6+ years, if you're married, she stops talking about it. Yeah? But not because it's gone, it's because she's given up. Not, guys. She stops talking about those things that you used to do that ick her, that hurt her so much. She stops talking about them. But for you, I don't know how men's brains work. Sometimes it's amazing. You think because I've not talked about it, I'm not talking about it anymore, that it's gone away. Anyway, it doesn't matter anymore. Well, it is still so much there. It's just that I gave up and I'm not saying anything. Now, in that giving up state, that is very hard to achieve when you're just dating, because that person will just, abandon you and get to another relationship. And then you'll find out and be hurt. And yet, if you did something, the relationship could even move on much faster than you thought you had planned. But for marriage and partnership sake, where you have kids involved, guess what? She stops talking about it in the 6+ years. She stops talking about it, but I don't know what is with men's heads. You think, well, we are good now. I thought we are now okay. If you didn't do anything about it, it's still so much there and it still hurts the same. And you'll be surprised where that would head even 20 years after. Now, resentment grows. This is a psychological insight. Yeah. Resentment grows when apologies aren't matched with changed behavior. You can apologize for something that you did that was bad, but if there is no changed behavior, guys, that is likely to come up into something else. So it is not the mistake that's the problem, it's the repetition of that mistake. You keep on doing the same thing over and over. Say, like, you betrayed me and went off with someone else and then apologized and I forgive you. And then you do it again and apologize and I forgive you. You do it again. Now, we women, guys, just to give you an insight of how women's brains work, I may say, I've forgiven you and I forgive and I stop talking about it. That doesn't mean it has gone away and I've forgiven. Sometimes we revisit those places, and when we do, we want to hurt you where it hurts the most. I mean, you've hurt me, I will hurt you. So before all this goes out of the normal, do something about it. If you've apologized, stay away from that which you've apologized for. Because if you apologize and keep on doing the same thing, you might as well not apologize, because what's the point anyway? So guys, like I said, it is not the mistake that's a problem, because we all make mistakes, but its repetition is what becomes the problem. Now, I'll just give you a mini role play idea here. A guy coming up to a girl, baby, I'll do better, I promise. Yeah. And then the same behavior next week, I will do better, I promise, I will change, trust me, something happened, I was not able to. Those lame excuses, same behavior the next week. Have you ever had the same argument with your partner so many times that you could recite their times before they said them? Like you had this talk with your partner the first time, the second time, you always have the same talks with this person. But for some reason, it's the same talk over and over and over. And you know where it will end. It will end with them apologizing, saying they didn't know, they made a mistake. Over time, resentment will come in, and that relationship cannot be salvaged anymore. So do something. Be a person who is of your word. You promise to do something, do it. And if you say you will stop doing certain things, stop. Because really, there is no counseling, there is nothing. It is a personal thing. We choose to be responsible, we choose to be honest, we choose to be loving, we choose to be in these relationships. If you still want it, work towards keeping it. But if you don't, then I don't blame you. You can go on and have your cake and eat it too. To me, if you've had the same argument with your partner so many times that you could recite their times before they said them, well, that to me sounds like resentment knocking. It's resentment really knocking, but you're not paying attention. How to deal with resentment is what we are going to talk about now. Listen without defending. That is one sure way of dealing with resentment. You learn to listen without defending yourself. Don't argue her feelings, validate them. If she says, I really feel neglected, don't be like, but why would you feel neglected? I buy the food, I pay the rent, I'm paying the school fees, I'm doing this and the other. Why would you feel neglected? I thought I was taking good care of you. Don't argue her feelings. Validate them. Tell her, I understand you feel like that, but I'm sorry. I hope I can do better next time. Try. In Uganda, we have something we call okweguya. Okweguyangana. Like, you feel for me, I feel for you. it's tit for tat. When we lose that and we are not in touch with each other, where I really don't care how you feel and you don't care how I feel, guess what we have? It's nothing. And our relationship will not stand. Many relationships are failing because we are not playing our part as the parties to these relationships. But if we were, it would be a different story. How to heal from resentment is something else that we are going to talk about. How do you heal from resentment? When you've realized that, you know what, this is starting to fail. How do you heal? If you're the girl that has been, feeling all this, you feel like you can't, this person has hurt you so much, it's enough, you've given so much and received so little. How do you heal from that? Listen without defending. We said, don't argue with her feelings, validate them. That is one of them. Make visible effort. You said you would change. Change. Try and change. You said you would do something. Do it. You said you'll be more helpful next time. Now that you know, try and be that. Don't be all talk and no action. Some consistent changes matter. Sorry, small consistent changes matter more than one big gesture. Like we talk about you not cleaning after yourself, and then after we've had the argument, you clean after yourself, and the next week you've forgotten about it and gone back to your being a messy person. Or you notice what I've done today, and then the next time when I do something, you don't seem to even know I'm there. Later on, I did something. When I give a suggestion, you dismiss it. Try. Don't do it in one go where today you're appreciating everything, praising me, showering me with flowers. That doesn't really work so well. It is better when you do small ones, but progressively, as opposed to one big bang one, and then that's it. Rebalance the load. Remember when we talked about overloading? When she feels overloaded, rebalance the load. Share physical and emotional responsibilities. Physical and emotional responsibilities. Say like in a setting where there are kids involved. If you're lucky and there is no kids in the picture, I don't know whether there's anyone who is listening in that is at that level where there's no kids in the picture. If there is no kids in the picture, then, more share physical and emotional responsibilities. When I say physical, if you come back from work and find like I'm supposed to do laundry on a Saturday and you're there, help me wash. We connect with you guys when you help us. We connect on a deeper level, and this is just a hack for anyone that is taking to the bank. We connect to you more when you help us. Because it's not expected. When it does happen, trust me, it changes up on things. So like I'm in the kitchen cooking and you just come and stay there with me. I'm cleaning and you help tidy. It's not much. And I don't know our mentalities as Africans, where we think if you help a woman, then you're belittled, you're not a man enough. It doesn't work like that. These people, the Europeans or the whites, people in the Western countries, look at it different, and their relationships are different. I'm not saying they don't divorce. I'm not saying they don't resent each other, but they have an understanding that much as I'm at home, I mean, there are men who are being house husbands, full-time house dad, or housewives. There are those people, different people doing different things. But the not regarding each other is what causes problems. Now, if, for example, we are in a relationship, you found when I washed clothes, it doesn't take anything from you if you helped get them off the line. It really doesn't. That is one way we connect. If there are kids involved and they are really young and need extra help, guys, those of you who have kids, you know how much work is involved in children. Having to wash them, cook for them, feeding time is another one. everything is too much the moment there are kids involved. Now, if the man comes in and is like, what are they left to do? It's time to eat, I'll serve, and then serves them or helps feed. That is, it's, have you seen these men who walk around in supermarkets, who walk around with children? They get more attention from the female gender. Why? Because it's attractive to see that. And yet you men think if you come in all macho, buying food, anyone can buy food, paying bills, anyone can pay for the bills. Besides, you live in the same house and you're going to use up those bills. I mean, if you're paying for water, you're going to use it as well. So don't think much of it. Consider it as a partnership where you're helping yourself as I help you, or you're helping me as I help you, But if we take it as I pay the bills, I pay rent, why should I do anything else? Well, that's not it, my dear. You live in the same house. And if you're saying I pay school fees for our kids, they are our kids, not my kids. And when it comes to celebrate them, we'll all celebrate them. So guess what? Here is where we hang in the towels and just choose to make this work. Whether it's boyfriend and girlfriend, whether it's partners, whether it's a couple married. If you take the back seat as the man, come in. I know of a gentleman who used to come home. I mean, he was our friend and his job was to manage real estate. Now, we met his wife sometime. How we got to know him was he was dealing in property and he managed to get my sister someplace. Now, for us, when we are with him, we would sit and talk and he would laugh. I mean, he would talk on top of his voice and brag about how his wife doesn't even know his voice. That his wife has never had her laugh. I found that to be absurd. Why? Because how is it you've been with this woman? She has your kids and these kids are school going and she doesn't even know you can laugh. And I told him, how do you do it? I asked him, how do you do it? He said, when I get home, I have a corner where I sit. And the moment I get home, she knows she needs to put water for me in the bathroom. I come in, go in and wash. And after I've washed, I get in, come and sit. She gives me my newspapers. And he says there's a table there with newspapers. Sometimes he just sits and reads newspapers of so much last year or 3 years ago. Because he didn't buy newspapers, there's no way a newspaper would appear from nowhere. So he would sit in a corner and just read all the newspapers while the kids are with the mom, chatting, talking, whispering. You know the danger in that. You are not connecting with this person. Once the kids are out of the house, you cannot live with her anymore. Because what is hiding is, what is between you is, she is pretending or she is hiding her pain in these kids, trying to clean up, cook, wash. The moment she leaves, the kids leave the nest. We call it leaving the nest when they go off to university. Oh my goodness. You cannot stand her. She cannot stand you because that was her scapegoat. That is where she used to go and be safe and be herself and be sane while you come home and brag, sit in that chair. And I know of another gentleman who would go up on his balcony. He's got a storied house. So he sits on the balcony and reads newspapers. I don't know what men have with newspapers, like they can't read them away from home and come home to love, to home. I'm thinking home should be this place where you can come and be yourself. I know of a gentleman who used to love to stay in his boxers. So he never wanted visitors coming because that was his kingdom where he was reigning. And he was reigning as long as he was free to be himself. And that is what he had made his home. So what we make our home is what it will be. If you're going to create an environment where you're free, you can laugh. There is nothing that can be reduced or removed from you as a man if you laugh with your family. If your wife gets to see you laugh and smile and talk on top of your voice, most men are themselves when they go out to garages, when they go off to the car washes. Some men during the lockdown would sit on Ludo tables and just play Ludo and just laugh and be men. And to some extent, when I see that, I feel pain. Why? There are times I see men laughing and I really feel sad. Why? Because they are not getting it at home. They've created a place at home where there's somebody else. And when they are with fellow men at work, that is when they are themselves. That is sad. You're not going to grow old at that place of work. When you fall sick, your wife won't even know you smile and talk and laugh. So you want it to be real, keep it real. If you're a person who loves jokes, joke with your kids, joke with your wife, joke with your partner, joke with your girlfriend if you want things to, liven up. We all connect with real people. A person who is pretentious, you can never connect with. I mean, if I pretend all the time you come around me, I'm all smiles. If I see someone like that, I know they're up to something. They are fishy because no one is like that. It can't be Christmas throughout the year. Sometimes it's Christmas, but sometimes it's January. If those of you are in Uganda, you know what I mean when I say January, where it is hot, and they say it is hot, it shines even in our pockets, and there's not much money to spend around. So, guys, be real. Let's create homes that are good for us, that we can also take pride in living or being in years to come. Many times we've created homes where we can't even go to. In the lockdown, I keep on giving examples of the lockdown because I saw things that I had never seen before. Men who don't know how to relate with their partners or with their wives or children at home, and they had nowhere to go. And us Ugandans had the longest lockdown in history. We had the longest. I don't know whether God was behind it. He saw our men and us were not connected, and he said, let me mess them up and give their lockdown a longer time than other countries. Ours was really bad, long. And for us Ugandans, we don't live so much in big houses. We have small houses. It's not much space. So it really became inconvenient for us to live with our people. Why? Because we had not created that environment where we can sit and talk, where we can sit and just be ourselves. Most men, like I said, come home. It is even known. I even know of a gentleman who in his car, you don't eat in his car. You don't sit a certain way in his car. You can't even afford to sleep in his car because then the seats will not be even. Dirty shoes, you have to put them in a cavera or in a plastic bag before you sit in, because then his car will become dirty. Now he's put so much attachment to his car, and the price is what? The kids, the wife, they all get in his car and they are on like walking on thorns. Lest they damage, they drop things here. That's not how life should be. So if you create a better environment for yourself, even at home, your wife is not your slave. Otherwise, if you married me to cook, you'd marry a chef because then you're guaranteed of meals. If you married me to clean, you would have married we don't have them much in Uganda, but in those other countries, they have what they call housekeepers. They come in, cook, clean, mop, dust, and do everything and then leave. If that is the reason you got the person you're with, then it would be best you marry or get someone or involved with someone who is a housekeeper. But if that's not your intention, you're looking to find someone, a long-lasting relationship, we can read between the lines. If I can feel free around you, I will be with you longer. But if I cannot be myself around you, I cannot see tomorrow, because these masks can only last for a short time. I can't keep up. In the lockdown, people could not stay, all bubbly. The man comes, you're walking on your knees. I know of a couple where the lady even takes pictures kneeling for the husband. I'm not saying it's bad to give respect to your husband, but she's putting up a facade for him. And she can only do that because the man is barely at home. The man works on Saturday. And on Sunday, I bet you he finds places to go and not be at home. So each time he's there, she's on her knees. The man is praising her, how she's well-mannered. Well, no one enjoys to walk on their knees and always be on their knees. If she's doing that, she's putting a facade for you, just so if that's what you want, she's putting it up, like we say, keeping up appearances. You need to have someone who will be there for you, that even when you're sick, she won't go behind you and be like, now what is he still doing home? He's not even getting well. You need someone who will feel bad you're not well, because she's missing her partner, the one she was laughing with, the one she was, joking with, the one who was carrying her, the one who was helping her, missing those moments where she was doing the dishes and you are just seated there, or rinsing or helping her dry the dishes, missing that person who would wake her up once in a while with breakfast served. Let us learn to connect on a higher level than this, because if we don't, our relationships will be so shallow. And because I don't see her tomorrow, there is no way I can be on my knees, even in pictures, and you think I want to be old with you. No one really, really, really likes to do that. But I can respect you lovingly, by treating you right, by not cheating on you, by not, bad mouthing you, being there for you in tough times. Women, if you find a woman that truly loves you, that truly cares, guess what she will do? She will get from what is hers and give you. But if she does not, if she stops to care, she'll be like, I'm not the one who lowered him. I'm not the one who, I had some lady say, sinze namukwana. I don't know what that would be translated as, but she's saying, I'm not the one who went after you. You chased after me, so you need to give me. I will ask for everything I need from you, and you will give it to me. Why? Because she doesn't see you like someone she would give her life for, but someone who, it becomes, like I said, if you guys have been with me from the very beginning, it becomes like that state of an obligation. I'm obligated to be your wife, to be your partner, to be there for you. That's my job, to do dishes, cook and clean, and have children. Your job is to supply. So we are in a contract of some sort. All contracts expire. Yeah. If it's that way and it's not a relationship, it will expire. Those people who have gone off to work in other places, anywhere that you have worked, there is the expiry time of that contract. Whether it's 2 years, 3, 5, it does expire. So if I have been for you those things, I know of a lady who her husband was loving and caring. Oh my goodness, the man was good. And I liked the way he used to talk to her. And then all of a sudden he got sick. I don't know what really happened. And he got a brain tumor and had to go to China, and they removed the tumor. But the woman was there for the man and nursed him back to health. When they operated on him on the brain, he came back not even knowing who he was or who his family members were, his children. But the woman was stuck with him, took care of him until he could remember, oh, this is my home. These are my kids. This is my wife. Imagine nursing someone who doesn't even know who you are. And you have to refresh his memory that you are his wife and these are his kids. Nursing that person back to health, it takes a different grace. Now, if it is in these ways of you're high and almighty, and I'm at the foot, guess what? Things may flip up a bit, because you don't even remember who I am. Now, we need to create an environment where this person will be there for you, hook or crook. Don't be at home and be all so much. We don't enjoy knowing that is his chair. He sits there in that corner when he comes back from work. Those are his newspapers. Don't touch them. Don't shout for your father. He has just come back. It has to be a home where you can be yourself and she can be herself, together with the kids that you're raising. And that can help you have a better, home and relationship. I hope that is properly exploited. I was saying rebalance the load. Share physical and emotional responsibility. You share them, where you come home, You find out still cooking, help me. It doesn't hurt. I'm not doing this because we don't have a maid. I probably want to whip up a meal that is good for you. But if you find me in the kitchen, come over. If I'm cutting onions, help me with the tomatoes. If, let us do that meal together. It will be remarkable and you get rewards after that because we connect emotionally more than we do physically. So that alone will minister blankets. And before you know it, the cold person is starting to warm up, is starting to let go, and is more talkative, is more friendly, wants to share their space with you. And another one is appreciate out loud. When I say appreciate out loud, compliment, thank, acknowledge her daily. I know all this, like I said, guys, that it is going to be tough. It's going to be a lot, but we are digesting it now. These are matters of the heart. Why she resents you. Now, how to heal from resentment. Appreciate her out loud. If she has done something, show her that you appreciate what she has done. Like I said, we connect more emotionally than physically. If I don't feel appreciated, I will not do the same thing again next time. If I don't feel noticed, I will not try the next time I'm around you. So appreciate her loud. If she's dressed up and you like the way she looks, throw a compliment there. Because when you men are noticing other ladies, some of you even take it to the next level. You say a word or two to the lady. Some of you take pictures. Some of you stand and turn and your jaws drop. So do that for her as well. Appreciate her out loud, compliment her, thank her loud, and acknowledge her daily. This has to be done daily. Don't be like, but I said thank you last month. Why should I say again? Daily is daily. Today, tell her again and again, we feed off what you think of us, how you treat us. I don't know whether it's our curse. And I think it is because God said from you, we will always crave for your love. Yeah, so I think it is our curse. We want that coming. So don't get tired of telling her she looks amazing. She's incredible. She's had those beautiful kids. How does she keep up with all that and still look amazing? Just be real and create this home where you can always come back to when tough times have come. I told you lockdown was a tough time for Ugandan men simply because they couldn't come home and stay. I remember there was even a clip going around where, because the man always flaunted, I'm the provider and that's my role and that's it. This time he wasn't providing because no one was working. Guess what? The woman served chicken that day and told the maid, do not give. The maid had served the chicken and given the man the gizzard and this backbit. Men like that backbit, I don't know why. But the lady stopped the maid halfway and said, why would you give that to the man? Did he buy anything? He will eat it when he buys. Give him the wink. That was humbling, really. That was below the belt. And the way they acted it out was after the man was humbled, because now he wasn't flaunting the ticket of, I'm the provider. He wasn't providing because there was no work for anyone. Then a phone call came in from work and the boss was apologizing and saying, I'm sorry, I have not been giving you anything. Guys, have a little something that we managed to get. I hope it helps. And it was about $500,000 for the Ugandan money for the man. And the woman saw the message, actually it wasn't a message, it was a phone call. And the husband was at the table eating whatever he was served. And the woman overheard the boss saying, I've sent a little something. The man had put it in hands-free because he was eating and couldn't hold the phone up. So the woman was quick to go and get the piece that normally they give the husband and the gizzard. Don't you know it's the father, the man of the house that eats these bits? Just because now she had gotten to know that he's in position to provide. So don't go flaunting the ticket of I'm the provider and that's all you do. Be a balanced man. Because what will happen when you can't provide won't be good if you can't provide. Can you keep up always providing? Are you always going to be in that position of providing? I told you this lady took care of her husband until his sanity returned, where he could recognize, oh, this is my wife. And he was like, how long have we been married? Until everything came back slowly. That is nursing, guys. She did a great job, and kudos to her. Until the man could recognize, these are my kids, so I'm their father, you know. So don't let us not flaunt that ticket of I'm the provider so much that we forget other responsibilities that we have, like being, present and not absent, being there for her emotionally. And another one is to keep your word. Integrity builds trust. If you have promised to stay away from something, to change, keep your word. Be one that keeps your word. You promise to change, you promise to not do certain things again, keep your word. Because if I find out you promise not to do certain things again and you're doing them over and over, it is hurting. And I'm still with you simply because I've not yet got a way out. Because the moment I do have a way out, I will leave you. Why? Because it has been building over time. Don't think women are built out of rocks. I don't know what we are built from. You may think we are strong, and it's okay for us to know that men are sleeping around, they have kids left, right, and center. It is not. True colors come out when something happens to you. I saw this woman nurse her husband back to health. I'm talking from cleaning him, washing him, feeding him. I mean, he could not even feed himself. It took a different kind of love between them for this woman to do that. And because he was giving her fidelity while he was well, I'm thinking that's why she stuck around. Otherwise, most women would give up and just be like, I'm leaving. This is enough. Why? He wasn't present while you needed him. But if he was present, there is no way you can leave him when he's going through such a time. If he was there for you emotionally, like all these other things that we've talked about, if he was that for you, there's no way you could leave that kind of person when they are at their lowest, except the devil really ate up some part of your heart. But if he didn't, you'd be there for that person 100%, which he did. And the other one was, I said, keep your word, because integrity builds trust. If you promise to do something, do it. You promise to change. Just be a person who keeps your word. Create emotional check-ins. Emotional check-ins are so good because weekly conversations about how you both feel would help heal resentment. So how do you feel? How did that make you feel? I like the way these people in Europe put it. They keep on saying, how did that make you feel? And how are you feeling today? Weekly check-ins or daily check-ins. Find out how she is. She's quiet. You've noticed she's quiet. Ask her. I've noticed you're not talking much today. Are you okay? Are we still okay? You know, there are times I use those words at home and some people are wondering why I use them. It's just that I'm checking in. I'm trying to find out, are we still there? Are we still in it for, there's that assumption that because he was there with me in the beginning, he's still here. He could have checked out and you never got the notice or the memo. So you need to check in on a weekly, guys. And I'll give you a practical example. Set aside 20 minutes once a week, phones down, and just talk. Whether it's in the bedroom, whether you go out and go for a walk to go and just buy an egg, or just going to buy salt from the shop. Just if you have anything, you can even just take a walk to go and buy tomatoes to cook. And just check into each other. See how things are going. How are we doing? That small habit can save your relationship from years of quiet bitterness. It's just a habit. And it doesn't, the thing is, we are programmed to think spending quality time with a person that you care about means to involve money. Not all the time. You can spend quality time with this person just by going. I don't know, maybe I'm made from a different kind of brick, but if I'm not, this is what I think. We are trying to help ourselves. I remember the days me and my husband were dating. He would take me, we would go for walks and walk from work to the park, to the taxi park, and we would just be talking. Yeah, we would just be talking before we got married. We would just be talking. And now, when we got married, we would just take a walk, maybe just to go and buy. In Uganda, we have something we call tayari. It's a curry powder that I like to use because of its color. So you can just go and buy. It doesn't even have to cost much. It's 100 a cup, small pack like this. You just go and buy maybe 3, and you just take a walk and check in and see, are we still in sync? Are we still, connected? Are we still in this for the good? It doesn't have to be expensive to spend quality time. We just got it wrong. I like the way people in the Western world do it, where they can just go and sit by the lake. They've not invested any money. I know for us, we think our relationships are shallow because we don't have money. Not all relationships or quality time spent involves money. You can just go and say, let us walk up that hill. By the time we come back, we'll have cleared the air about certain things. Let us just go and, go to the market, walk around and see things. But that market, knowing the market is quite at some distance. So it will give you time to talk about certain things that are not making you happy, because that habit may save your relationship from years of quiet bitterness. Now, if you are ready to start repairing instead of ignoring, type in the chat, I'm ready to repair instead of ignoring. Now, family, resentment doesn't mean that love is gone. Let's get it right. Resentment doesn't mean love is gone. It is there, but it's leaking. It's leaking, it's got holes. It means that love is under rubble. You can dig it out, but it takes humility, consistency, and patience. Like I said, resentment doesn't mean love is gone. It means that love is under rubble. You can dig it out, but it takes patience, it takes humility, it takes consistency. Humility means you're humble enough to realize that something is going on and do something. Consistent meaning that one thing that you said you would do, you continue doing. Patient meaning if someone is going through that period, you can understand and you're patient with them. But also, this person resenting has to be patient. So don't wait for her to explode or check out emotionally before you act, because she can really check out emotionally. And once she has checked out, it's out. Start the repair today. I want to read open the lines and read some comments, if that's okay with you guys. I've seen them coming, and Rogers said, good evening, members. Good evening, Rogers. And he also said, single dad said, Cedric said, hello, everyone. And Rogers says, where is Lydian and Dina? Yeah, Lydian and Dina, I've not seen you. I hope you are okay. Actually, Dina texted in the chat WhatsApp group and said that she will be off to the village with her children. So that's why she won't be on. In Uganda, village life, yeah, power is not on, there's no Wi-Fi, or it's hard to get data. So probably that's why Dina is off. Otherwise, she's in the village. And as for Lillian, I don't know where she is. I'm hoping she can come on and say hello if she is watching. And Rogers is saying, does that mean we should pay the house ladies? Yeah, I'm not saying you should. No, 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 no. Actually, don't get me wrong. Remember, I said it's a partnership. If it's a partnership, actually, I disagree with relationships where the man pays the wife. For one, I disagree. Why? And I'll give you my reasons. You can argue on that one. For starters, this is how I look at it. If this is the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, why should money come between the two of you? I believe in joint accounts. I believe in joint funds. You bring your money. Since I'm at home, I'm not working. Bring all that you have. If you see a future with me, I'm not saying do that with a light-headed person that you see or someone who is empty-headed. If you see that the person you've got is right, because again, if she's empty-headed, why are you going for her? Unless you're going for other things. And if you're going for other things, then go ahead and run your thing your way. But I think we should all find that person that matches up with us. So that person that completes you, that is not so beneath you you're having to bend, is not so much above you you're having to tippy-toe just to get to them. And just like the Bible, there's a reason why God got Eve from the rib, because we are supposed to support. How can I support what is not there? So that means you bring your resources, you bring your income, your money, and let us sit and plan. If a woman is involved financially, it will be very hard for her to get that money and put it somewhere else. But if she's not involved, she will ask from you money because she doesn't know exactly how much you have. So she will keep on asking and asking and taking and taking, because we live on assumption you've got it covered, you've got it sorted. After all, you're flaunting the fact that you are the provider. There's nothing we need that you can't provide. So guess what? We will ask for things for even our cousins, even our late uncles. We will ask things for them because you've proved that you are financially okay and you're the provider. I don't agree with the payment. I think you would pay her by being available emotionally. And that alone, if you put your money to the table, you sit and say, you know what are we doing this month? Let us pay fees, let us pay bills, and let us, sort the food. Next month, let us buy the pressure cooker, the rice cooker, and let us save some. Next month, there is no way a woman can come up and start saying, now, I need you to pay me for being the wife, because you're both working as partners. You're meeting your part where you're helping me. You bring the little you have, and I'm bringing what I can provide to the relationship, and we are floating in a good environment. I'm thinking you shouldn't be paying. If it's a good woman, reward her by, when you can, you come in and pinch in and help her with the kids, with the housework when you can, because it does not remove the fact that you're still a man. It is just making you even a greater man, that you can do any of those things. That is why men who walk around with kids come off really attractive, because that's not something we normally see, but we would love to have. So that those kind of men who are con men or sleek tongued or whatever, those men who know how to woo women and don't have any relationship or have more than one, all they do is borrow kids from their relatives and walk around with them and go with them to play public places, and everyone is like, oh, he's just Bambi alone, he's doing all this alone. He's just, because we don't know you in that sense, we tend to fall towards that. So if you want to have a hack, go ahead and help her, and you see how things will flip around in your home. Surely things will change when you're just being present. I mean, you're there, I'm washing, help me put clothes on the line. I'm cleaning, help me tighten up. I'm cooking, just be there with me and slow chat me. Anything to help our relationships get better. And Rogers says, you remember me. I have a certain promise. You remembered me. I have a certain promise. I don't know what your promise is, Rogers, but whatever it is, I'm hoping that you make good of your promise. Because anytime we promise and we don't fulfill what we have promised, guess what happens? We become empty promises, all talk, but no action. And that is not a good place to be. Neither does anyone want to be with such a person. And Rogers says, you can't hold a short wife in public. Oh my goodness, Rogers. That is the wife you married. By the fact that you walked down the aisle with that person, you definitely, you walked to the aisle, you walked down the aisle with her. You are not ashamed then. You shouldn't feel bad or shy or embarrassed by the kind of person that you're with. Because if that is the case, guess what? She will notice it. I've seen some men who don't want to walk in public with their wives. If they are going on a wedding, the man always drags behind. I don't like that habit of seeing men. You are in a public place, you're going somewhere and they are lagging behind. Either they are under the guise of unpacking the car, or I will come after you. Let me sign here. I'm first going to the loo. You know, those excuses. It's like you're embarrassed with that person that you're with or your family. It is not a good one, and it causes resentment because it plants ideas in the lady. She starts thinking, am I not good enough? Am I not measuring up? Don't I look good enough? What is it that is embarrassing about me that he doesn't even want to see me in public with them? It's not good. It is not good. So whoever is doing it, you should stop. Otherwise, resentment can always creep up on that one. And Joan Jojo says, thanks, dear, for such kind words of wisdom. You're welcome, Joan, and thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm glad that you have enjoyed. And Cedric says, wonderful words of wisdom indeed. I hope you have been blessed. Thank you so much, guys, who have been on from the very beginning. And Cedric, you're welcome. And you say, is resentment a woman's right? How about men resenting a woman? Resentment is not a woman's right. It is not a woman's right, and neither is it a man's right. It is not something you go and say, let me pick resentment and take it or take off with it. No, it is something that comes up. Remember what we started off with. What is resentment? Yeah, we said resentment is toward emotional hurt and unexpressed anger. I will say it again. It's toward emotional hurt and unexpressed anger. I'm hurting and you've not responded to my hurt. Guess what happens after that? Because I'm hurting and I cannot tell it to you that I'm hurting or you've hurt me, resentment builds. It's like that small wall that comes to protect me from any more of your lies, any more of your pain, any more of your heart, whatever things that you do to me, I start protecting myself. It is not anyone's right. It is something that comes. Even a man can resent a woman for whatever it is that she has done. But because we were talking about resentment of the ladies, I was explaining the bit of the ladies. Maybe we should invite Cedric over and he would tell us more about the resentment of men. Anyone who is bold enough, you can come and we talk about the resentment of men. I was talking about the resentment of a woman, why she resents you because I'm a woman, and my research tended to go that way. We will probably talk about the resentment of men sometime, but it's not anyone's right. It is something that just comes up because I have unexpressed anger, because I'm hurting, and so I start pulling away from you and trying to protect myself. I'm doing things you're not appreciating. I'm saying things you don't, take note of them. Those small things creep up, and they're the ones that cause resentment. Otherwise, it's not anyone's right. Anyone can resent anyone. It can be a man, it can be a woman. It's just that today we were looking at resentment from a woman's perspective. And oh, Olive, complimenting is key in a marriage. Yes, indeed, complimenting is key in a marriage, especially because you get married for some time. Like I said, there's just like you men, when you get married, you become rusted with the way people are on the street on how to woo and get people. Also, us, because when we get married, especially if a woman gets married and truly gets married to you, as in she puts all other men on the side and chooses to be yours and yours alone, she would crave for your compliments, for your understanding, for your affection. Just telling her she still has got it, even after having 3 children. She still looks amazing, even when her hair is not done. She still looks incredible, even when she's not painted her nails. Those small, small words can really, really, really make a difference. Because have you met someone who talks about other people? A man who is like, but the other one's wife looks really nice. She's so toned up. She's got, I like the way her hair looks. I like, and those men who do that. It's a bad thing to do because, like I said, you're comparing me to someone else. And yet, probably the reason I'm not doing it is because I'm sacrificing for the sake of our relationship. I see we don't have money, and so I don't do my nails. I see we don't have money, so I don't do my hair. I don't, buy new clothes. I'm not changing my wardrobe as often because I am considering you. But then if you start saying every time she goes out, the other looks amazing, you don't, even if you don't say it, but you tend to pay more attention to the other one and not me, I can start resenting you because why should it be that way and not the other way around? Yeah. So, like Olive said, compliments are key in a marriage. And TJ says hi. TJ, where have you been? I requested, ladies, those of you who have experienced resentment before, how has it been for you? Has it been that what led to your resentment, or what is causing you to resent the person that you're with? You can feel free to let us know what is causing resentment for you. Is it the way he speaks to you? Because it's ladies now. And TJ says, I was taking a nap, but I'm here now. Oh my goodness, you've missed a lot. I hope you'll be able to watch the rerun because you've missed a lot. Like I said, guys, it's a live chat. Go ahead, drop in the comment section. Let me know what you think. When did you notice she was resenting you? Even if you're a guy, what have you experienced among the things that we've talked about in your relationship? What is it that you've experienced with your partner? What is it that you're experiencing right now? Or what is it that you have had? It's Friday. We are not going anywhere except those who have to go to work tomorrow. Otherwise, those of us who are home tomorrow to enjoy the weekend, we can still continue and chat. Let me know what has worked for you among the many things that we've talked about and that which you think you're experiencing right now. If there's any of those things that you're experiencing, otherwise, godly relationships bring glory to God. If we all purpose to make our relationships work, it pleases God. And we don't raise up our children in a messed up environment where they also don't see the value of being in committed relationships, because children learn from what they see. I mean, there's this girl that I was told that her father used to scream at the mother that he would come home and they hear him coming at greeting the neighbors and they just run and hide and would only come out when it's time to eat food, supper. I think that is not a good environment because he's always screaming at the mom. I don't know whether because of frustrations at work, but if we can find ways of handling our problems so that we have healthy relationships, that would be good. Do you know that if you talked with your partner about how your day was, this these people in the Western countries, I keep on using them because they seem to have it better than us. They have associations for everything, literally everything. They have an association for smokers, for drunkards, for those who are sexually addicted. They have associations for those who have just conceived, those who are pregnant, those who have just given birth. They have associations literally for anything. Now, do you know what those associations are for? They are groups. It's outlets for you to talk about what your experience is. So if we found it okay to talk to our partners about what it is that is going on, so like even men, they find that they have a weight to carry about, being men. Many men, when you see them playing at different places, or when they are just with their fellow men, you really get to see that they are now trying to let out that which is bottled inside, because they are not themselves at home, or the situation at home is really tough. And that is one way of escaping the whole environment. But if we can create that environment, we will all be able to enjoy the environment created. Appreciate me, guess what? I will honor I'll pour in the respect. Try and notice the small things that I do. Guess what? I will notice even those things that you said you would do but have not yet done, and be able to help you achieve them. But if we don't meet ourselves along the way, guys, our relationships will crumble, and it won't be a good thing. I don't know who is watching, who else is watching, but those of you who have been there from the beginning, let me know your stories and life experiences. Has anyone experienced resentment before? Was it your fault? Who contributed to the resentment? Has it ever happened to someone that you know? Let me know. The lines are now open. You can go ahead and call if you want to on +256 762 599 138, or I'll go on and pin it for you to just call. The number is +256. I will say it as I pin it up, so you'll be able to find it in the comment section. Let me know what your take is. If you want, if you have any suggestion. That way we can build our relationships and help them stand. Otherwise, let me know, guys. Let me know. The number is in the comment section. What your take is about resentment. Otherwise, I'm so glad that you have tuned in and been here the whole time. If tonight's conversation spoke to you, share this stream with someone who you know needs to hear it. Is there anyone you think needs to hear this? Share it with them so that they will also get to know that probably this is happening to them, and because we shared solutions and we shared problems or causes of the resentment. So if you know anyone that this live stream would help, who needs to hear it, share the link and let them also be able to learn a thing or two. Otherwise, subscribe, stay connected, and let's keep having conversations that save our relationships, because it is sad when we are not working towards building relationships, but doing life alone. If you get old by yourself, it is lonely. If you get sick without having that someone who really cares for you, who you care about, being there with you, it is a sad and lonely place. You just imagine if tables were turned, and you can't provide anymore. Like if you now have the coat of I am the one who provides, and she's the one who does the domestic work. If those are the jackets that you're choosing to wear, you need to be able to keep them up forever, because there are those times when you won't be able to go out and work, where you won't be able to provide. Will you still wear the same jacket and show off the same way you're doing? If you can't, then let us try and work on our relationships. These are small, small things, guys, where you shower her with compliments, where you listen to her, where you make her feel visible, where you offload her so she doesn't feel overburdened by the weight of the relationship. At some point, you get to start feeling that maybe uh, he got me to be able to do these things for him and he wasn't able to. But if we change up on things and make our relationships work, guys, it's a beautiful world, and we would raise up kids, and the generation that is to follow would really have a better place to grow up in. You know, what you are not given, you can never give out. What you didn't receive, you can't give out. You can only give out what you got. You can only give out what you got, but what you didn't get, you can't give it out. So I hope that we can create that environment where we can give out better things instead of toxins. I'm here waiting to hear anyone who has a story on resentment, whether it has happened to you before. Rogers, I hope you didn't go off before time. I don't know where Lydian went off to. Shaboya came on shortly and then disappeared. I don't know whether she's still on, but guys, you have been amazing. Being here from the very beginning up to now, I just need to know now who it is that is watching. So I send my shouts out to you and share life experiences, guys. Otherwise, when you don't, I'm wondering who is it that has been watching. Let me know who has watched. Otherwise, if you're not subscribed, the essence of this channel is to read the Bible from Genesis all the way up to Revelation, and we read it on a small pace, Monday to Thursday, and then Friday we do the live chat. Now, if you find time and you want to know more about the Bible, go ahead and tune in. There are videos from the books of the Bible up to Psalms, where we are right now. And on Friday, we digest the heart. We talk about everything. I mean, we talk about investments, finances. We talk about relationships. We talk about everything in between that you could think of. So keep it right here on Friday. If you have nothing to do, tell friends. And we can chat Friday nights away. You don't have to go off to a bar. You don't have to spend time with people you don't want to be with and spend money. It's cheaper on here. And so you can always tune in. Joanne says, thanks. Thank you, my dear. I hope you enjoyed. And I'm hoping you'll be on next Friday. And also let me know if there is any experiences. Is there any story you can share, Joanne, about resentment? What is it that you found true about why she resents you? Anything that you find true about resentment, go ahead and drop in the comment section. And TJ says, I studied with people in my class who were dating, but the girl always used to make the guy feel like he's not good enough, as a boyfriend and he started resenting her. Yeah, so that resentment is really can happen either way. It can happen to men, but it can also happen to women. Now, the key word in TJ's his comment is that the girl started the boy started the guy used to make the guy feel like he's not good enough. So the guy started resenting. So resentment can really, it's not a girl's right, neither is it a right for the men, for the boys. It is something that just builds because one party has fallen short of what they are supposed to be doing. And to guard ourselves from any of that happening to us, we really and truly keep the spirit going, pour in the listening ear, be people of our word, be attentive, shower compliments. Let us not be mean with them. There are some people who really are just hard to be with. And also remember, guys, the essence of this channel is to read the Bible. And if we are to base on the Bible, you realize that all these things that we hold so dear, we will lose at some point. They are here today and gone tomorrow. So why is it that if you have money, haven't you seen couples that had money at some point where the man was a big provider and for some reason, maybe bad investment, everything was lost. And when it was lost, the woman left. People think the woman left because of the money. No, while the money was there, the man was flaunting it in her face. I'm the provider. I am the one doing all this and the other. Your job is just to do this. And so the one woman stayed doing her responsibility or playing her part as the wife or the partner or the girl, depending on what was expected of her. Now, when the man is cut short of what he can do, guess what? He's not ready for whatever treatment comes out of that. So it is two-way. Let us try to build our relationships. Let us make them work. And also, as we keep mindful of God, that He would want us to treat our partners or ourselves better than we are treating them right now. And TJ says, I feel like these days in relationships, the women make it seem like only them are entitled to compliments, which is not true. Also, guys need to be complimented. Oh, that is sweet. And hearing it from a woman is or a female is, I'm assuming TJ, you are a woman. Are you a woman or are you a man? Because I could be fanning something that is not. Are you a woman? Are you a man, TJ? I'm a female. Okay. Yeah. Compliments. That's why I said it has to be. I remember Rogers said, does that mean we need to pay our women money? And I said no, because we need to make it about partnership. You shower me with praises. I do shower you with praises. I compliment you, you compliment me. Like TJ has said. Yeah, these days it seems like it's an entitlement for women. But guess what? We need it more. Men don't thrive on compliments that much. Men thrive on respect. If you don't respect a man, he won't stand you. But for us, we thrive on, the compliments. Keep them coming. Tell me my earrings are really dashing. Yeah. Tell me my dress is dazzling. We thrive on that. A man wouldn't care much. That's why you see when you're taking pictures with men, they just say, let's take a picture. And he straight away starts posing. Well, us ladies, I have to first check. Let me first see if my hair is right. Let me first check if my makeup is on. I need to put on some lipstick, things like that, which men don't do. So we thrive on compliments and men on respect. So if we keep those balanced out, our relationships will be better. And TJ says, but everyone needs a compliment. It makes us both feel nice and confident about themselves. Yeah, all of us could use them. We could all use compliments, truly. All of us could use compliments. But I think the female sex could use it more. I mean, we really need. Do you know we go and look at men you don't know, but we sit in front of the mirror and even I can practice how I'll smile, how I'll talk back to you when you say something. We can even practice how I will pause when I'm standing next to you or when I'm sitting. We practice crazy, crazy things. So for us, compliments really count and count a lot. And TJ says men also need a boost in confidence. TJ is just out to now go for the men. And if anyone is agreeing with her, finally, guys, say something. Because, yeah, it could also boost their confidence as men. It really would. But I'm surprised I'm hearing this from a female and not a male. Men who are listening in, because I see your numbers are still there and you're not saying anything. Let me know what you think as well. Otherwise, TJ has said it. We all need. That's why I said relationships to work out better, we need to have it balanced. You cannot be like, I'm the provider, you are the one to take care of home, strictly that. Then it becomes about obligations. You provide, I clean the house, cook, and take care of kids. That's it. That's not a relationship, that's a partnership. And guess what? Partnerships have time limits because they are contractual, they have time limits. I can do that for a year, but I can't do it for 7 years, 10 years when all I'm doing is cooking, cleaning, and making bed for you, cooking, cleaning, and taking kids. No, it gets to a place where it's enough. Time for us to take different. That's why we even start thinking of paying whoever it is that is we are in relationship with. I don't agree with paying in relationships. I believe in you bring the money. Let's be partners. Let's talk about it. Bring the money, we share, we talk about what we will do that month. And then after we've done it, it would be unwise of me to be like, he's not even buying me flowers this weekend. We did plan for that money. It wasn't there. Flowers won't come. There will be that understanding. There are no flowers because the money came. We bought shoes. We paid fees and paid rent. Period. So it would be a crazy woman who would expect more when they know the income and have been part of it spending. Yeah. TJ, thank you for those compliments. I'm waiting to hear anyone else who has got something to say as we prepare to sign off. Shaboy, yeah, welcome. You've been on, you came on, you are the very first person to get on, but then disappeared. And now I hope you came from, someone said you had gone for a nap. I hope they were not lying, that you napped at night. And you said, but as women, we expect too much. And TJ said, exactly. We expect too much. I don't know what you call too much. If I'm dressed well and you're my man, I expect you to say something. Because these men also turn heads when they see really good looking people. Why not on me if I've put in the effort, got myself that new dress, got myself in those shoes, did my hair and my nails? Why not you saying something about it? Because if you saw it on someone else, you would compliment them. Why not me? So that's why we expect. Because if you're giving it out there, why not in your own house? So, Shavoya, I'm really thinking it's not too much for you to appreciate those little things that I do. If you have been listening, to appreciate when I do something as a person in my life, to be a person of your word. Because if you promised me today that, you know what, I will come to your parents, I'll introduce you, I'll get married to you, and then you don't, and then I hear that on Fridays you spent last Friday with some group of people doing certain things, and you apologize, or I catch you with someone, and then you apologize, and then it happens again. It has to get to a place where you change Otherwise, I would leave or resentment would come in. TJ says, but I feel like the husband would like you more knowing that his wife appreciates the way he looks. TJ and men. And boosts the confidence by allowing him to know he looks nice or smells nice. That is true. All of us need it. Like I said, guys, don't get me wrong. I appreciate compliments going out either way, but it's just that the female sex thrives more on compliments. A man wouldn't care much as long as he's got a big bank account or a big wallet. That is all that men care about. But again, because we are all human, just like it makes you feel good if someone says good to you, also say, give it back, give and take. And Shaboya said appreciation is different from complimenting. And TJ says it's kind of the same thing. Appreciation is different from complimenting. Maybe Shaboya would explain what she means by that. Because I would think appreciation and compliments are different. Say like I clean the house and you come home and you don't even notice the house was cleaned. You left it a mess, I cleaned it. If you showed appreciation, and I said show appreciation out loud. Out loud meaning, oh my goodness, you're so sweet, sweetheart. You did this, you cleaned. That will encourage me. It's my fuel for the next day to do the same. If it doesn't get noticed, probably I won't do it again the next day because the gas to do it is gone. So to keep the flames burning, guess what, guys? We keep those compliments going. I cook a nice meal you enjoy. You didn't expect it because probably you didn't have the money, or we didn't have money, but you found a good meal. Appreciate and say, you know what? I don't know what you did, but thank you, sweetheart, for this. It's the best, even when it's not. We don't even to lie. Anyway, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed. Saying special shouts out to TJ and Shaboya, who came on board quite late, but I've made it exciting, and to Joanne, to Rogers, who has always been on and watching, Cedric, and to Kyomhanji, Oliver. Thank you so much, guys. TJ says, just before I conclude, that I compliment my brother most of the time and it makes him walk tall, knowing he looks nice, but also he has his money. Hey, that is good, though. Now, I think TJ will come on when we are talking about why he resents you, because she will be in support of the men and explaining as to why men resent women. Because I know that will be an exciting topic. Now, if you have any suggestions for the next topic, you go ahead and drop them in the comment section. Otherwise, there are topics that I was thinking would talk about. I don't know whether we should talk about holiday time that is just come up, or money problems after the baby. Who pays for what? TJ said, I really enjoyed this. Thank you. You're welcome, my dear, and hope next time you'll be on if there's power and you join. Otherwise, the topics that are going to be thought about is love versus lifestyle. Are you in love or just comfortable? That is a topic. You can let me know if you want to hear from that, about that one, or talking about money early in dating, too soon or smart move. Is that a smart move or another one? A wrong move. Money problems after the baby. Who pays for what? Or we can talk about financial infidelity. Okay, let me just reduce these topics to a few so that you can remember and be able to vote which one you'd want to have discussed next Friday. Financial infidelity, secrets that break trust. Yeah. Financial infidelity, secrets that break trust. That is one. Money problems after the baby. Who pays for what? Those are two topics. I don't know which one you guys would want to talk about. Money problems after a baby. Who pays for what? Or we talk about financial infidelity, secrets that break trust. The first one is financial infidelity, secrets that break trust. It's still something to do with finances. TJ says the one for secrets that break trust. Okay, or we can talk about money problems after a baby. Who pays for what? Or we can talk about when your partner loses their job, love in crisis. Guys, let me know which one you'd want us to talk about. When your partner loses their job, and that is love in crisis, which one would you want us to talk about? Financial infidelity, secrets that break trust, that is number one. Or money problems after a baby, who pays for what? Or we can talk about when your partner loses their job, love in crisis. Which one would you want us to talk about come Friday? God willing, and there's power and other things being constant. Which one would you want us to talk about? Drop it in the comment section and we'll give it consideration. Otherwise, there is a number that is in the texts. There's a number +256 762 599 138. That number is for those who want to join the WhatsApp group. There's a WhatsApp group dedicated to Friday Digesting the Heart. There we chat and make friends and talk about different things. Even the topic of discussion for the Friday coming, we can talk about it and agree on which one is best. You can go ahead if you want to join the group and drop in the comment section that I would want to join, or you just text on that number and you'll be able to be added on the WhatsApp group and we will chat and make friends. It's exciting if we get to know each other. So go ahead and let me know who is interested. Otherwise, TJ says the one for the the one for when the partner loses their job. Oh, so TJ has changed her mind. So there are three topics: financial infidelity, secrets that break trust, or money problems after a baby, who pays for what, or when your partner loses their job, love in crisis. Which one would you want us to talk about come Friday? Let me know. You just say number one or number two or number three. And then whatever it is that you choose, we will give it good thought and see which one we can handle come Friday. Otherwise, the topics are financial infidelity, secrets that break trust, and or money problems after a baby, who pays for what, or when your partner loses their job, love in crisis. Which one would you love to hear come Friday? Shaboya says when the partner loses their job. So far, we have two people going for the topic of when your partner loses their job, love in crisis. Guys, it's a live podcast, and just a quick reminder before we turn off. We are looking for a topic for next Friday live chat. And the very first topic that we are, Joanne says number 2. Is number 2 the one, money problems after a baby? Joanne, let me know. Money problems after a baby, who pays for what? Or are you choosing when your partner loses their job, love in crisis? Let me know which one you'd want, your specific. Is it, Joanne, just type yes if what you meant was money problem after a baby, who pays for what? Otherwise, the order is financial infidelity, secrets that break trust, or money problems after a baby, who pays for what? Or when your partner loses their job, love in crisis. So far, I know TJ and Shaboya are going for when your partner loses their job, love in crisis. I need to know who else is going for that. Joanne said number 2, but I need her to specify on number 2. Secrets that break up trust. Okay. Okay, I need to have this number balanced. Joanne says secrets that break up trust. And that sounds exciting. Yeah. Yeah, secrets that break up trust. Now, I think to make it even more interesting, we'll not only talk about financial secrets, we'll talk about the secrets that, break trust once they come out. That is exciting, Joanne. That's a good one. We'll take note of that, and we'll try and also see how to incorporate it to our Friday night. Thank you so much, Joanne. Anyone else who is going for the secrets that break up trust, or when your partner loses their job? Now it's between those two. When your partner loses their job, or secrets that break up trust. Which one are we going for, guys? It's a live chat, and we are giving these few minutes to choose a topic that we'll discuss for Friday. So far, we have 2 topics: secrets that break up trust, and when your partner loses their job, love in crisis. Those are 2 topics to pick from. Let me know which one you would want us to deal with come Friday, and we will be able to do it. Before we wind off, guys, let me know who else is going for that topic. Otherwise, so far it's between those 2, and whichever comes up on top through the WhatsApp group is what we are going to go with. Joanne said secrets that break up trust, and TJ and Shaboya said when your partner loses their job, love in crisis. Otherwise, subscribe and stay connected, and let's keep having conversations, guys. Cedric says secrets that break up trust. Now that's a tie. That's why we'll discuss it. That's why we'll discuss it later. Otherwise, subscribe and stay connected. Let's keep having conversations that save our relationships. Until next time, keep your heart open, your ears attentive, and your pride in check. Men don't realize this makes women resent them. Bye-bye, guys, and see you next Friday.